Now, the mid-range smartphone market is certainly a battleground at the moment, with brands like Apple, Google, Samsung, even companies like Nothing, battling out to provide the consumer the best bang for your buck. And step forward Samsung with the Samsung Galaxy A57. Now, there's so much competition at this price point. So, have Samsung done enough with the A57? I would definitely say this is more evolution rather than revolution with this. But is it enough to make you part with over £500, especially when there's so much competition on the market? Let's discuss. So let's start with what Samsung are leading on here, and that's the design. The A57 is the thinnest A-series phone Samsung has ever made. It's not quite Galaxy S25 Edge territory, but it's genuinely slim and light in the hand, and it definitely feels more premium than the price tag suggests. A metal frame here with Gorilla Glass Victus Plus front and back, and so far in the first week I haven't been using the case. I've got no marks or scratches, so that's a definite plus. In terms of colours, you got lilac, icy blue, awesome navy, and awesome grey. I mean, Samsung definitely has to work on these names, I think. Now, I've seen a lot of people using the lilac, but I personally really like this icy blue colour. I would say definitely go with a lighter colour, because the darker colours with that glass back is an absolute fingerprint magnet. So you definitely have to get a case with the darker colours. We've got IP68 water resistance here, which is a genuine upgrade. So that's full submersion underwater protection, and so you haven't got to worry about getting this phone wet at all. And I'd say the bezels are definitely slimmer than what we've seen on previous A-series phone. So overall, the design really does look a lot more premium than the price suggests. Now, in terms of display, we've got a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED Plus screen with 120Hz refresh rate. And the screen is super punchy, looks great, and buttery smooth. That 120Hz display with a boost of 1900 nits peak brightness compared to 1200 nits peak brightness of the A56. So trust me, it looks great indoors or outdoors. Now, in terms of software, you've got One UI 8.5 out of the box, and Samsung are committed to giving this device 6 years of Android updates and obviously security patch updates too, which is great for a mid-range device. On here, obviously, we've got lots of Galaxy AI features. You've got the free AI assistants, which is a bit confusing with Bixby, Gemini, and now Perplexity. People keep telling me Bixby is getting better, but I'm not convinced. And you've also got some of the nice creative features as well around things like best face and auto trim for video highlights. But there are some things that you're not getting here, and that includes the Creative Studio app. You're also not getting the daily brief and notification summary, which some people will probably say they don't care about, but it's just be aware that you're not getting all the AI features that you get on the S26 lineup. So what else are we getting here? Well, we're getting the Exynos 1680 chipset, which is paired with 8GB of RAM in the base model, or if you go up to the higher storage, you get 12GB of RAM. So overall performance, I know a lot of people poo-poo on the Exynos chip, but for a mid-range phone, you know, I've not noticed any issues in terms of performance of the phone or it getting overheating in terms of when you're playing games or anything like that. So at the moment, I've not noticed any issues with that chipset. We've also got 45-watt charging here on the 5000 mAh battery. So again, that's a good size battery. That's the same as what you get in the S26 Ultra, for example, but you don't get the 60-watt super fast charging that you find on the S26 Ultra. So just bear that in mind as well if faster charging is important to you. And another thing to note in terms of the charging here as well is that you don't get wireless charging. So if you predominantly charge your phone on a wireless pad, then you're not going to be able to do that on here. Now onto the camera, and let's be straightforward here. Samsung have not upgraded the camera hardware on the A57. So it's the same sensor setup that was on the A56. What has improved is the image processing thanks to the new chipset. So you're working with a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 5 megapixel macro lens. So there is no dedicated telephoto camera. So anything beyond the standard focal length is digital zoom. But I'm happy to report that in good light, the main camera produces solid results. The colours are punchy without being overdone. Detail is good and dynamic range is improved over the previous generation. HDR handling is more controlled with less blown out highlights and better shadow retention than what we saw on the A56. So digital zoom holds up reasonably well to around 3 to 4 times in good light, particularly if you're switching to the full 50 megapixel resolution, but in lower light, yeah, it's not fantastic. So if you're using this for video, it tops out at 4K at 30 frames per second. There's no HDR video recording, which is obviously a limitation. Stabilization is decent, and in good light, the footage actually looks really clean and detailed. Audio capture is also good, I would say, as well. But again, you've obviously got to set your expectations here. This is a mid-range phone with a mid-range camera setup. So yeah, be realistic about what you expect. If you're big into photography and a creative using your phone, then I would say you're going to have to go up to the S26 series to get what you need out of your device. So there you have it. There's my thoughts after using the A57 for a week. I do like this phone. I think it's good value for money. Is it worth upgrading if you've got an A56? Absolutely not. You know, there's some nice upgrades around the internals, around the sleeker design. It's so much lighter. But in terms of phone, it definitely isn't worth upgrading. However, if you are coming from a much older A series phone and you want to stick with the A series, then you should definitely go for it. But there are some things you need to think about. You're getting slightly slower charging compared to, say, the S26 Ultra. You're not getting wireless charging. And whilst this is an improved processor, over time it would be interesting to see how this does compared to, say, you know, the Snapdragon chips that are found in the S26 lineup. But in isolation, I would say this is an outstanding phone that's great value for money. However, you're going to want to probably shop around, and I'm sure you can probably get this at a great deal already. There'll probably be some fantastic deals online. And if you can get it for a great price, then yeah, I would definitely pick it up. I mean, just look how thin that is. But let me know down in the comments, are you planning to pick up an A57 or are you going to stick with the phone you've got now? Let me know. What phone are you using? Thanks for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and if you found it helpful. Please subscribe to the channel. We've got lots more content coming up. Until next time, cheers.